My Favorite Wife, starring Laurence Olivier as Nick Arden, Rosalind Russell as Ellen, and Gail Patrick as Bianca. Slowly and with fear in his heart, Nick climbs the stairs to Bianca's room to inform her that the wife he had declared dead has declared herself very much alive. Slowly and with a sinking feeling, he opens the door of the room to hear Bianca on the phone talking long distance to her mother.
And then we drove all night. All night, Mother. And when we got home, he didn't even tell the children. Oh, Mother, he just ignores me. What? I don't care what Father did. I'm not going to stand it another minute. I'm going to leave him. Mother, I'll call you back. Nick? Nick, is that you?
Hello. I didn't mean to disturb you. Talking to your mother.
I'm all through now.
Oh. How is your mother? Your mother's, quite nice once you get to know her.
Nick, do you love me?
Why, Bianca, you're one of the most attractive girls I know.
I'm your wife.
Bianca, don't cry. Bianca, please. Look, Bianca.
Playing up to that southern snip just as if I weren't there. In the name of heaven, tell me, what's wrong with me?
Oh, Bianca, there's nothing wrong with you. Believe me, under other circumstances, well, who knows? No, Bianca, please, stop crying. Bianca, please, let me explain.
I'm waiting.
Now, let me start from the beginning. Now, once there was a man who met a girl. He'd been living alone for quite some time, but he told the girl he loved her, and in the natural course of events, he married said girl. Now,
What are you trying to say?
Just this. Bianca?
What?
Bianca. Listen, did you hear that? Doorbell. Somebody at the door.
You don't have to answer.
Oh, yeah, I do. Somebody's trying to get in. Doorbell. Right back.
Nick, come here.
Right back. Come in. What do you want, please?
Mr. Arden?
That's right.
Well, I'm Johnson of the American Life and Accident Assurance.
Oh, well, come right in, Mr. Johnson.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm awfully sorry to be intruding at this hour.
Not at all. Sit down, Mr. Johnson. Glad you came.
Well, thank you. This will only take a minute.
No. So stay a while. Have a cigar, Mr. Johnson.
Just as you say.
Fine. Well, and what can I do for you, Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Arden, have you received any communication from your first wife, Ellen Wagstaff Arden?
Huh?
Oh, of course not. Just as I expected. You see, our district manager, Mr. Pusey, is one of those fuss-budgety types who likes to check everything. Of course, it's customary to check when the company has paid out a large sum of money. But this is ridiculous.
What are you talking about?
Well, he claims to have a report that a woman answering the general description of your first wife was rescued by a Portuguese freighter, as was also a man named Stephen J. Burkett, who was reported drowned at the same time.
Would you mind saying that again?
Oh, now, please don't get angry with
this,
me.
Stephen J. Burkett, he was rescued at the same time as my wife?
Well, according to this unverified rumor, yes. Rescued after 7 years. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
And what else did your Mr. Pusey hear?
Well, not very much, really. It seems he talked to somebody who had talked to a Portuguese captain. He says the woman's name was Eve.
Eve?
It's lucky it wasn't Ellen.
Yeah.
Oh, and by a curious coincidence, this Stephen Burkett called himself Adam.
What? Yeah, of course.
Yes. Well, you ought to be very grateful that the woman's name was Eve instead of Ellen. Because aside from the money involved, can you imagine the pickle you'd be in?
Yeah, just imagine.
Well, and that settles it. Good night, Mr. Arden.
Good night.
Oh, and thank you again for permitting
Not at all.
Who is that? Oh, come in, Nick.
How can you sleep at a time like this?
I wasn't sleeping.
Oh, dreaming about Adam, I suppose.
Adam?
Yeah, Adam. Why didn't you tell me you weren't alone on that island? Why didn't you tell me this man Burkett was with you?
We didn't arrange it, Nick. We didn't want to be there. Those awful mosquitoes. Oh,
never mind the mosquitoes. Why didn't you tell me about him?
Because I knew you'd carry on exactly the way you're carrying on now.
That's no excuse.
I wanted to pick the right time to tell you.
There never will be a right time for that.
Really? You know, it just occurs to me that I ought to feel insulted.
Huh?
I go through 7 years of agony. I come home to find my husband in the arms of another woman, married. My children don't know me.
But all my husband can think about is, did I carry on with some poor man who wouldn't hurt a fly?
Oh, now, just a moment.
You just a moment. Did you tell her?
Huh?
Did you tell Bianca?
Well,
No.
well, I was about to tell her when Mr. Johnson came.
How long does it take to tell a woman my wife's come back? I can say it in 2 seconds. You've had 2 days. Oh, Nick, you don't want to tell her. That's why you're picking on poor Adam. Any excuse will do.
Well, you can't blame me after hearing about Burkett from that man.
You don't trust me. I thought you'd be so proud of me, loving you, thinking of you every day for 7 years.
Well, where is he now?
Who?
You know who I'm talking about, Adam. Where is he?
Oh, Adam, jealous of poor Adam. Gentle, harmless. He lives at his club.
What club? What's the name
How
of it?
should I know? But he's a clean, living, upright, 100% American, and a gentleman.
How old a gentleman?
Why, I never asked him.
Too personal, eh?
Well, he's slightly bald, if that helps. About 5'3".
Scrawny, huh?
Like a chicken.
You noticed that?
Well, after all, darling, Now, is there anything else you want to know?
Yeah. When do I meet him?
When do you tell Bianca? Good night, Nick.
Good night. Adam, eh? Adam.
Nick, stop.
Sorry, Bianca. I'm in a hurry, Bianca.
Where are you going now?
I'm going out to find Adam. What do you mean you never heard of him, Stephen J. Burkett?
Sorry, sir. There is no Mr. Burkett at this club.
Hello. I want to speak to Mr. Stephen J. Burkett.
Sorry, sir. We have no record of that name.
Burkett? No, sir, not here.
I told you once before. No Burkett.
Burkett? Yes, sir. We have a Stephen J. Burkett at the Pacific Club. Yes, he's here now. Yes, sir. Can I help you, sir?
Yeah. Look, I just called up about a Mr. Stephen J. Burkett. I'd like to see him.
Yes, sir. Shall I have him paged?
No, just point him out.
Certainly, sir. Boy, take this gentleman outside of the swimming pool. Point out Mr. Burkett to him.
Oh, yes, sir. This way, sir.
Thanks.
He ought to be around here, sir. He usually has his lunch served at the pool.
Yeah? Well, wait a minute. I think I see him. That little bald fellow over there, huh?
Where? Oh, no, sir. That's not Mr. Burkett. Oh, there he is, up there.
Up where?
Up there on the high dive.
The high dive? You mean that fellow? That big fellow?
Yes, sir. That's Mr. Burkett.
It is, eh?
They tell me he used to be a champion swimmer, sir.
Champion, eh?
Well, he ought to be with those shoulders.
Yeah.
There he goes. Gee, nice dive, wasn't it, sir? Well, will there be anything else, sir?
Yeah. I want to reserve a table for lunch tomorrow, a table for 2, right next to Mr. Burkett's.
Sherry for madame?
Yes, thank you.
And the martini here?
That's right.
Oh, Nick, what a grand place for lunch. I guess you thought you owed me something after all those awful suspicions.
I'm sorry, Ellen.
I tell you, let's drink to no more suspicions.
No more suspicion.
If married people can't be honest with each other, who can? After all.
Exactly.
What are you staring at, darling? Oh.
What are you staring at, darling?
Why, nothing.
I thought maybe you were watching that fellow dive.
Why, what fellow?
That fellow swimming over this way.
Eve! Hey, Eve!
Oh, dear.
Oh, hello, Eve. I thought I saw you down here.
Oh.
Oh, boy, bring me my robe, will you, please?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm delighted to see you, Eve.
Oh.
Well, won't you present me?
Well.
My name's Arden. I didn't catch yours.
Burkett's the name. Oh, why, hasn't Eve told you that we were...
Burkett? Did you say Burkett?
I said Burkett.
That's funny. I thought Burkett was bald. Well, Mr. Burkett, why don't you have lunch with us?
Delighted. The inner man is crying for nourishment.
We've ordered turkey a la king. Does turkey appeal to you, or do you confine yourself to raw meat?
Never touch it. I'm strictly a vegetarian. Waiter, bring me a glass of prune juice, a milkshake, and some raw carrots. Yes, sir. Well, Eve, how goes it?
Mr. Burkett, I'd better tell you. My husband hasn't slept since he heard you were on the island with me. He's arranged this meeting to trap us into a confession.
Just a moment.
He's a very clever lawyer, so beware. I'm going to be very foxy myself.
Well, I've got nothing to hide.
I know, but he has. You see, Nick's married again.
No.
Yes.
Why, that's wonderful. Congratulations, old man. Well, that's the best news I've ever had.
Why, what is it to you?
Well, can't you see? It simplifies everything. You see, I'd like to marry you.
Oh, you would you?
I've known your wife for 7 years, and no man could ask for a better companion, a truer friend, or a more charming playmate.